The Who Shot JR storyline was a storyline of the TV series Dallas. It started in March 1980 in the episode A House Divided, which was the third season finale episode, and it wasn't resolved as a mystery until the fourth episode of the fourth series, entitled Whodunnit, which gives away that this was going to be an episode that resolved the storyline. Whodunnit wasn't aired until November 21st, 1980, a whole 8 months after A House Divided. In the show, J.R. Ewing who's the man who shot, was one of the more villainous characters of the show, regularly double-crossing business associates, plotting against his own family, that sort of thing. Not a popular guy among the other characters in the show, making a lot of characters suspects in the murders, or into the shooting, which we'll get to. He also appeared in the 2002 Forbes Fictional 15 in 9th place, between Lex Luthor and Goldfinger. So, the episode A House Divided ends with J.R. Ewing being played by Larry Hagman, hearing a noise outside his office, and upon going into the corridor to check, is shot by an unseen assailant. And thus the wait began for viewers to see who had shot J.R. and whether J.R. would survive. The next series picks up. Obviously, that was the ending of Series 3. Series 4 picks up with a cleaner finding J.R. sprawled across the floor, and he's rushed to hospital. Sue Ellen Ewing comes to believe she has shot her husband in a drunken stupor. Cliff Barnes is arrested when a fired gun is found in his apartment. A character called Jock finds the gun used to shoot J.R., with the evidence pointing towards someone in the immediate family. And at the end of episode 3 of the fourth season, Sue Ellen is arrested for J.R.'s shooting when her fingerprints are found on the gun. Thus, the whodunit begins. Sue Ellen deduces that it wasn't her that had shot J.R., but Kristen Stewart. As she is discussing the gun and how it got into her room with her psychiatrist, she remembers that the gun was last in her possession at Kristen's condo. Sue Ellen heads home to find J.R. Kristen shows up, and Sue Ellen reveals all. When Sue Ellen had been to her sister's apartment with the gun whilst looking for J.R., Kristen offered her a drink, knowing she was drunk and would pass out from the alcohol. Once that happened and Kristen had placed the unconscious Sue Ellen in her car, Kristen took the gun and shot J.R., planting the gun in Ellen's closet the following day to frame her. Back with Kristen, J.R. and Sue Ellen, J.R. is about to call the police following the revelation that Kristen was his assailant. However, Kristen reveals that she is pregnant with J.R.'s baby and threatens to reveal everything if the police get involved. Facing yet another scandal, J.R. decides that the matter should be handled quietly, not pressing charges. Behind the scenes, every actor and crew member was filmed shooting J.R., including Hagman himself. Not quite sure how that would have worked, but so that, in theory, nobody knew who had shot who or which ending was going to be used. Among the favourites of bookmakers was Dusty Farlow, the ex-lover of J.R.'s wife, Sue Ellen. He was a 6-4 favourite. Vaughn Leland, a banker J.R. had swindled, was 4-1. Sue Ellen was at 25-1. And Kristen Shepherd, J.R.'s sister-in-law and mistress, was also at 4-1. Once Sue Ellen's fingerprints were found on the gun in later episodes, she became the favourite at 3-1. In fact, the only characters never to be considered were J.R.'s brother Gary and sister-in-law Valine, as they lived in California and were the focus of Knots Landing, which was a spin-off of Dallas at the time. And there ends the scandal, but indeed in 2012 there was a sequel series to Dallas. J.R. was shot again, this time fatally, creating the tagline "Who killed J.R.?", obviously a play on the Who Shot J.R. storyline. It was later revealed that J.R. had asked Steve Jones to shoot him so that his masterpiece could play out, with Cliff Barnes being framed for the murder. Once again, Cliff Barnes making a reappearance from the original series. J.R. had been told by doctors that he had days to live as he was dying from cancer, as was behind the scenes Larry Hagman, the actor who played J.R. In his letter to Bobby Ewing, J.R.'s brother, J.R. reveals that he admitted he wanted to die helping the family end the Ewing's barn feud, the central sort of tenet of the show, once and for all. In the end, J.R.'s son John Ross points out the only person that could take down J.R. was J.R. At the time, J.R., Who Shot J.R. was a major cultural phenomenon, and, you know, in a way that Who Shot Mr. Burns probably would have been years later. But did you watch it? Who did you think it was at the time? Hope you all have an amazing day. Check out my previous videos on screen here and here. Subscribe down below, and I will talk to you all next time.